Welcome to Damn Good Marketing Podcast, where we ditch the fluff, cut the BS, and get real about what actually takes to market your business like a freaking pro. I'm your host, Shelby Clement, Louisiana native, two-time boy mom, and the founder of Shelby Clement Marketing, a social media agency built for small-town entrepreneurs with big-ass dreams. I left corporate, where I was underpaid and underestimated, built a multi-six-figure business from the ground up, launched a sold-out marketing event, and created this podcast to give you the truth behind growing a brand online without losing your mind or your values. This is for the ones who are tired of spinning their wheels, ready to show the hell up, and finally market with confidence, clarity, and consistency. So if you're ready to grow, get bold, and to build a brand that actually turns heads and opens doors, let's do the damn thing. Dreaming of a website that actually works for your business without tech headaches? Shine Pages is more than just a website builder. It's your all-in-one business hub. Think websites, funnels, landing pages, email marketing, checkout pages, blogs, appointment booking, and so much more. Drag, drop, launch, no code, no stress, just stunning strategic tools that scale with you. Whether you're building your first offer or running a growing empire, Shine Pages make it simple with gorgeous templates, amazing live support, and affordable prices. Start your free trial today at shinepages.com and let your business shine online all in one place. Y'all, we have a genius of a human being here today. Lexi Hartmann is here. First off, you heard it here first. She is launching her podcast October 7th. See, I don't play, of 2025. So I wanted to put the actual year so you do it. But we're about to talk about everything AI. And I find this so fascinating because there's so many people that literally don't want to talk about it because they're embarrassed to use ChatGPT or whatever we're gonna talk about. And there's so many people that are like, I use it and I don't even change it because we can tell by all the emojis that you copy and paste. Oh, yes. So before we get into any of the questions that were submitted, I want you to give everybody a little background, like who you are, what do you do? Go.
Yeah. So I own a marketing agency, basically, and I've been in the marketing world for about 18 years now. Back before social media marketing was actually really a thing. We kind of used this guerrilla style social media marketing to grow my mother's business back in the day as a French bakery in North Carolina. And through that, we became one of the most Instagrammed restaurants in the country. And so I kind of saw the power of what this type of marketing could do as opposed to traditional advertising. And so that really just kind of lit a fire in me. I loved it. I loved the way that content could really connect people with businesses. And so my thing has always been content. So now I've kind of moved into the corporate space. I became the head of marketing for a large small business agency out in Arizona for years. And then when COVID hit, I separated from that company and I started my own thing. And I decided I'm only going to do the parts of marketing that I really like, and that is content and focusing on authentic content that really connects people with the audiences. So that's kind of how we started. And we've sort of gone on a roller coaster since then. Yeah. Lots of different pivots, lots of different changes. But it's been fun.
Gosh, you're my type of girl. She said authentic. Here we go. Okay, wait. I'd love to get everybody's story just to kind of see where they were to where they are. So you were in corporate.
Yes.
What made you leave? I want you to kind of paint the picture. Did you get fired? Did you quit? Did you feel like you were meant for more? What was it?
I was somewhere between laid off and fired.
Oh, okay. I love this for you,
Yes. So we had moved to Louisiana in February of 2020.
Okay.
Right when COVID hit. My husband's an infectious diseases physician, so it was not a great time to be kind of in that space moving over here.
Yeah.
And suddenly I had kids at home. Back then they were, I think, 2 and 5 or something along those lines, popping up in meetings all the time. Everyone's trying to run their teams remotely. And I was basically at the top of my game with that agency, had been there for years. And it just got to a point where I guess the kids were interrupting too much, or I was not as available as I used to be when I was in office and that sort of thing. And a bunch of people were laid off around that time. And the first thing I felt was relief, actually.
Oh, so if they wouldn't have done it, then you wouldn't be where you are today, basically.
Exactly. I'm so grateful for that experience of everything that I learned there, because I really learned what it takes to scale an agency and what it also takes to scale small businesses in that process. So it was really a great time for me. Yes, it was obviously painful to kind of lose that, but I truly did feel relief because it gave me permission to go and do the things that I had known for a while.
Yeah,
I wanted to be.
You were just the type of person that just needed to have that little shove.
I've always been on some sort of an entrepreneurial journey. Like I say, I've never met a hobby that I didn't try to monetize.
Yeah.
So,
well, clearly, because you helped your mom.
Right.
Then you went into corporate. And then God was like, nah, bro, we're going to kick you out of here so you can go back to what you're really good at.
Yes. Yeah.
I just think that's so fascinating to hear. Okay, so in that moment, you said you felt relief, right? Yeah. did you feel anything else? And like, then what really kind of jump started the content and iHeart content?
Well, I think I just took some time to kind of reflect on what really filled me up in my time with the agency and the corporate side, and which parts I was like, oh, I don't want to show up and do this. Right?
Yes.
And I just made the decision, I'm just going to do the parts that I like, and I've always loved to write. I've been a writer, I write fiction for fun that will never ever get published, but it's just what I do for fun in my spare time. And so I wanted to focus on that. So my initial thought was to focus specifically on copywriting and that sort of content. But it just kind of grew from there, and we've kind of pivoted into all different kinds of content. So these days, outside of the AI stuff that we do, we focus primarily on female founders, mission-driven female founders. The mission can be whatever. It can be, it doesn't have to be anything super, charitable or anything like that, but something that people are passionate about.
Yes.
And so we focus on that, and we help them tell their stories. So we tell the stories the world needs to hear. And that's kind of where we're at right now.
I love that. Okay, so this is actually a great segue into like what we're talking about today. Because like I feel like at any point in your life, because you are a copywriter, you love to write.
Yeah.
When AI hit the world, were you like, holy shit? Like were you against it?
It's kind of a keep your friends close and enemies closer situation.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was afraid of what it might do to the industry, but I'm also a huge nerd with stuff. And I come from a family of early tech adopters. And the first time I actually saw one of these tools crank out a paragraph of copy, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. I love this.
Yeah.
Even though in theory, it could potentially replace me at that point. Of course, now we know better. Now we know that the copy that it spits out is not really the kind of copy that you want to be throwing on your website or the kind of copy that you want to be throwing straight on your social, right? But when I'm seeing it do a halfway decent job, better than some of the copywriters that I had hired, spitting out this content, it was just such a magical experience in some ways. And the thing that really hit me was that this is going to be the great equalizer. AI is going to be the great equalizer. And you can either love that fact or you can hate that fact. I love it for so many reasons.
Yeah.
So.
Can you go into like the reasons why you love it?
Yeah, I think for me, what I see it doing in the future is less when it comes to copywriting, specifically when it comes to content creation with AI. It's leveling the playing field, and it's making marketing more accessible for people. It's giving people the ability to do more on their own. And we know as people in this field that businesses are always starting off doing this on their own.
Yeah.
They're hiring their cousin, they're hiring their daughter's friends, cousin, whatever, to do their socials or whatever. And at some point, they're going to get to a point where they do need to bring in a professional, right? But in the meantime, now they have a little bit more control over it and they can learn in the process. So for me, the big thing about AI is less about actually creating the content and more about how it can empower you to learn more about how to run your business, about how to understand your own marketing, even if you are working with a professional, and just how to strategize and how to really get a little bit more strategic in your business and learn the things that you need to learn. That information, I think a lot of people have this barrier when it comes to asking questions of the marketers and the agencies that they work with. They feel embarrassed that they don't know. And so I'm sure you've had this experience too. I've had clients where, you explain something to them. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Got it. They don't get it.
They don't get it.
They don't got it.
No, and they don't want to speak up.
Right.
Yeah.
And so AI, specifically ChatGPT and these large language models, it gives you this space where you can ask anything. And I mean, like anything. It can be as unhinged as you want.
Yeah.
You can ask it without embarrassment.
Yeah.
And I've personally used it for that in so many different ways. I think it's incredibly empowering.
Do you think, I'm totally not even looking at questions anymore because I'm like, I have so many questions. Do you think just like in the world, because like, is it going to hinder creativity, do you think?
I don't think so. I think that what we're seeing right now is an initial adoption phase where we're all kind of, and I look at this with the copywriting space.
Yeah.
Just like I said, when it first came out, we were all like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Look, it just wrote a whole blog post for me. Entire products were launched, entire services were launched over the idea of automatically generating SEO optimized blog posts for you, like 20 of them a day. We look at those now and most of us in this space would say like, no, that's not what we're going for, right?
Yeah.
But there was that initial excitement. So we're in that phase right now where people are just trying to figure out where does it fit into their life and what feels right for them. In what way does it feel authentic for them to incorporate AI into their businesses? And I think that's kind of where we're at. And I think we're going to continue down that road.
Yeah.
I think, okay, so now let's dive into, because like I would say study it, because this is like, you have a course on it, correct?
Yep.
Okay. You have a course on this, like literally you live and breathe almost AI and teaching people how to make it authentic. So can you dive into that a little bit? Like if you are just diving into ChatGPT, okay? First and foremost, let's talk about the elephant in the room. If they are copying and pasting from ChatGPT, can you tell?
Absolutely, I can tell. And not for the reasons they think I can tell.
Like it's okay. Can you give an example?
It's not just the emojis. It's
the emojis for me that throw me over the ledge, but I want to hear this.
I'm going to say this in the way that ChatGPT would say it. It's not just the emojis. It's the deep inauthenticity in the way that it speaks. We do not speak like that. Those comparative statements, that's like what I call them ChatGPT-isms, right? They're red flags of ChatGPT copy. The emojis, the rocket emoji, of course, is like, we can't do it anymore. People now say the M dash. I will defend the M dash.
I don't even know what the M dash is.
It's that long dash that you use as a copywriter sometimes.
Oh, I just use that.
I use it all the
does
time.
not. What?
That's the new.
I saw that as a trending reel go through. Like, I'm going back to delete whatever. I'm like, first off, I use that in my text messages.
I made a whole rant reel in response to that reel that went viral, because I'm like, I am not giving up my M dash. It's my favorite piece of punctuation. But that said, for a lot of people, it does trigger these thoughts of ChatGPT because most people don't use it, or at least if they use it, they don't use it correctly. So when all of a sudden we see M dashes here, M dashes left and right, semicolons, where most people don't know how to use semicolons either, right?
I don't even know if I know how to use it correctly. Like, keep going.
Writers, it's fine, So we see things that are too perfect.
Yeah.
And that's really the biggest red flag of ChatGPT. It also tends to have just a very overly dramatic kind of way of saying things. And it's becoming easier and easier to spot. And I know that like when I kind of liken this back to like the first time that people saw CGI in movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were like, oh my God, they're going to be able to trick us into thinking all this stuff is real or whatever. Now there's like, we can tell, right? Like we can tell when we go to a movie and there's CGI. Now it's the same thing happening with ChatGPT. People are starting to be able to tell. The patterns look too similar. And so you have to find a way, not just to humanize it, because people are always looking for ways to humanize AI.
Yeah.
It's more about how do you make it you? How do you make it sound like you?
Yeah.
And I hate to tell people, but there's no way to do it that's going to get you to the point where you can strictly just copy and paste straight from ChatGPT. You are still going to have to be in your content. You can make it a hell of a lot faster and a lot easier, and you can streamline so many other parts of that. But when it comes to actually just generating that copy and taking it over to your socials,
you can't do that.
You can't. I mean, you can, but you're going to suffer.
Everybody else is doing it right now. Okay, so let's dive into a few questions that we've gotten.
Yeah.
So you run a full content agency. How do you use AI behind the scenes in a way that elevates your work without replacing the creativity? See, like when I first heard about AI, I was like, I'm not using that. I don't want my creative brain because I'm a marketing brain. So I'm like, that's going to replace it. So okay, anyway, replacing the creativity and the strategy that makes it yours.
Yeah. So we use it a lot in the planning and ideation phase. For me, I think one of the most powerful ways that we use it for our clients is to really understand their brands on a deeper level without having to take up all the time talking to our clients. So we've worked in industries that we truly know nothing about.
Yes.
As a copywriter, you have to be able to work in those industries. You have to be able to write about things that you really don't understand. And so before, that meant hours and hours and hours of research on my own. And yes, we'd have discovery calls with clients. And yes, we have a process for it and all that stuff. And we had all that before ChatGPT and before AI became this thing.
Yeah.
Now it's just streamlined.
Yeah.
So we can use it to really, really understand their brands, their industry, research competition. We can also use it to understand their audience on a much deeper level. That to me is the most important thing there. When we have a client that comes to us as in a very unfamiliar industry, we can make assumptions about what we think their audience is looking for or the types of, words and phrases and calls to action that'll resonate with them. But when we can actually do a deep dive research session with ChatGPT and have it create personas truly based on industry standards, that's a whole other level of insight that we get.
That's so genius.
It's one of the easiest and best ways that we use it in the agency.
Yeah, and it like makes things way faster that you can do in like deliverables in a way faster way that's very strategic to their consumer.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It also looks for holes.
Yeah.
So like we'll do our strategies and we have our outlines of what we think. And then based on the industry and based on, the kind of project that we're working on, we can ask it, find the holes in this, make it better. Tell us what we're not looking at. What questions are we not asking?
Yeah.
And we can make it, it's not human. We can sit there and have it go deeper and deeper and deeper and say, okay, tell me more. What else am I missing?
Yeah. What do you tell people that like maybe they're going in to work with you, okay? And they live under a rock, maybe, I don't know. And they don't necessarily know that you use AI. And then they hear that you use AI. Like, what are some concerns that they have with you using AI?
So first of all, we always disclose it right away. We'll never use AI unless the client expressly authorizes us to do that. But at this point, we're also not working with clients who are not okay with that, because what they're asking us to do is work slower and less efficiently, and we just don't want to do that. It just doesn't align with us. But for those that do have concerns about us using AI for caption writing or something like that, obviously, if we were still taking on those clients, we wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
We would respect that. But we also try to educate them in the process. So a big part of what we do, and I always say, I don't want clients that don't want to understand. I want clients that want to feel empowered. I want clients that want to know what's going on with their marketing, that they understand it. Because first of all, that's less work for me, right? As a marketer, if I have clients who get it. So we try to educate them and show them examples of like, look, this is what's possible. We call it AI assisted. So it's not, we're not using AI copy straight out the bag, right? It's AI assisted. So this is what's possible when we streamline this process and when we incorporate AI into the mix. And we've yet to have anybody push back on that when they see what the results can be with it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go into some tangible aspects of AI. If someone, let's do like some scenarios. So if like someone was maybe just a solopreneur, they were just getting started. They don't necessarily have the budget to utilize our services for any type of content or marketing, but they know they need it. They need to start.
Yeah.
How would you start grooming? That's how I'm going to say it. Your AI and tell them how to start just from day one. Like, how do they get authentic content utilizing AI?
Yeah. So if you already have a brand in place, or at least an idea of a brand of what you want to do and the people that you want to be serving, we teach a process called the pre-prompt process, which is basically using AI to help you build out a brand guide. And it's a guide that, yes, it's a template that you can basically fill out with your brand information. But where it gets really interesting is when you actually use ChatGPT or Claude or any of the other large language models to help you create that content. Because what you're doing is you're teaching it in the process of you filling out this brand guide. And then once you have this brand guide complete, that is basically it's the basis for any project that you're going to start with any kind of AI moving forward. You're going to copy and paste certain parts of that in there so that it has the context that it needs to actually do a good job, whether that's with content creation or strategizing or brainstorming. I like to tell people in the beginning, don't jump right into creating content with AI, right? Everybody wants to create content. They know they have to create content. They have to market their business. They have to show up and do these things. But don't start there. Get comfortable using it as a thought partner in your business, because that truly is the biggest value, the most significant value that I think these tools have for entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. So it's just kind of what I was saying before, where, you can ask questions. People always think that they need the perfect prompt to do things. Like, what prompt do I put in if I want to go deeper on my audience? No, just say, hey, chat, I can't really figure out what's going on with my audience. I can't figure out who's going to resonate with my message. This is how I'm feeling today. Look, I did this, I want to say it was maybe a year or so ago, where I was feeling really out of alignment with the clients that I was serving. I wasn't enjoying showing up for them. They were great. There was nothing wrong with them, but they were just on a different path than, I guess, what I wanted to be. For whatever reason, at that time, I couldn't even identify what it was. So I went into ChatGPT and literally used it as my business coach / therapist.
Wow.
To try to figure out, just hold it how I'm feeling. I don't want to show up. I'm not feeling excited by this work anymore. I can't really identify why. Can you just ask me some questions to help me identify why I'm feeling this way so that I can restructure? And around that time, what it came to was that we were still doing a type of marketing, in my opinion, that was less authentic, because we were taking on clients that they wanted filters, they wanted the perfect poses, they wanted everything to be super aesthetic. That wasn't where I was in my journey. It wasn't resonating with me. It was around the time that I was having what I call a come to Jesus meeting with myself around body image and things like that, and forcing myself to show up more authentically on social. They weren't on that same journey. So I identified that in the process, and it had never occurred to me that that might be the reason that I was feeling uncomfortable with this. It was feeling inauthentic, so it helped me identify that. And then it helped me restructure our offerings and the way that we work with clients and the kinds of clients that we market to, so that we could attract people who were more aligned.
So if you are if you're somebody listening to this, okay, let's try to paint this picture for them. what you're saying, and tell me if I'm wrong, but if you want to build like an authentic brand, you just like need to just have a conversation with your bot.
That's one way to do it. I mean, obviously, it's not the only way to do
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, because like he or she or however you want, whatever pronoun you choose for your bot, it literally is like they need to know how you're feeling, what is your mission, what is your values, what are you going through, what is sticking, what is failing, what is not. This is what I want my content to do, what I want to sell it to. But like, first off, can you elaborate? Because like I don't know, I know this, but they might not know.
Right.
Do you keep it in the same chat?
Yes. So the way, and there's all kinds of techniques for the way that you organize chats and things like that. And I that's a big part. That's the whole first section of the course is like, how do you organize your chats and how do you?
We'll put her course in the show notes, guys, if you're confused. But we're gonna.
Well, I'll tell you here too.
Yes.
So there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. So as of last December, ChatGPT has something called projects now. And so there you can create a project and basically all of the knowledge within that project, like you can upload documents, you can have multiple chats underneath a project, but all of that knowledge lives within that ecosystem of chats within that project. Whereas the other ones, yes, it might have some carryover from one chat to the next, but it's not always going to be referencing those documents that you've uploaded. So for example, I might start a project that says, I heart content brainstorming or something like that. And, you know, in that project, I'm going to have those conversations. I'm going to say, you know, I want to launch a new brand, the podcast, for example. I did this with the podcast, right?
Oh, okay. Here, walk us through it. Walk us through it. October 7th, everybody.
October 7th, yes.
Every Tuesday, starting in 2025.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
Because Shelby said so, and I do what Shelby says to do, always.
We need to hear your voice. Like, I'm so intrigued. I'm like, I don't care about these questions anymore. I just want to ask her all these things. Okay, go. So, so I put it in there.
Podcast.
Okay.
And I was having major angst about this thing. I was like, everybody's launching podcasts. Like, does the world need it? And I was looking for validation, right? I even posted on my stories, I think, and you responded. You were like, yeah, let's do it. But I wasn't sure how to approach it. I had this like very vague idea of like what I wanted to do, but I wasn't sure there was value in it. And sometimes you just need to talk through it. And you can do that with an actual human, right? But this was like 2:00 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
There was nobody I was going to call.
Oh my God. This is like your podcast.
Yes,
okay.
Right? No, it was the 2, and that's kind of where this came from, right?
Oh my God. You need to play this song 2 a.m. You know?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Theme song.
Okay. Keep going.
So I basically told it like, this is what I want. And this sounds so crazy, but my whole thing about wanting to launch a podcast is that I love to be on podcasts.
Yeah.
I love to talk. I love to teach. I love to share, you know, and it was almost like I was stopping myself from doing this because I didn't know that if my idea was valid or if it was worth doing or if it was just going to make everyone cringe. And I was just looking for that external validation, right? Well, it definitely didn't give me external validation, but what it did do is allow me to see it in a more strategic way, right?
It took the emotion out.
It took the emotion out of it. And, you know, it can definitely, my chat can be a little bit emotional sometimes. It's fine. But it definitely took the emotion out of it at the moment and said, but here's how this could actually work for you.
Yes.
Because I was telling it all the things that the reasons that I didn't want to do it or the reasons that I was stopping myself. And it was like, okay, but.
I love your chat. Did you name it?
I haven't named it. It's still just chat.
Oh my God.
It's just chat.
We're going to name him 2 a.m., but continue.
Okay.
We don't have to name him that. I'm just like,
No,
I feel like at that moment, he could have easily come back at you with factual shit.
Yeah.
But it's like, Lexi, I feel it, but he doesn't, like, that's just wild to me.
I will literally send you the last chat that I had with it, and it called me out. Like,
good for it.
Yeah. And to be fair, I do have a prompt within that project that asks it to challenge me on things. Because otherwise it won't sometimes, right? So there's
so wild.
Like, weird strategy things that you can do. And that's, of course, what I teach, right? Like, how can you set these things up so that you're not just getting the same results as everyone else?
Ooh,
and that extends to, like, not just copy and content, but it extends to the way that it advises you and the way that it strategizes with you. You know, if you don't give it instructions to disagree with you, it's going to just agree with you. And it's going to be this echo chamber. You don't want that. We have enough of that on social media. Like,
oh my God, I'm going immediately home and be like, don't agree with me.
I'll send you the prompts.
Thank you. Challenge me, please. Sometimes I get so mad at it and I yell. I shouldn't admit that. I probably should go to therapy for it, but it's fine. It's a computer. I'm like, you didn't get it. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
It is. No, it can be frustrating. And now we have the voice chat.
Oh, that's amazing.
Crazy. And it just updated, I think, this past week. And it actually was so human. It kind of freaked me out, honestly.
Oh, wait, shit. It talks back to you?
Have you not heard it?
No, I just thought you meant the voice memo.
Invite ChatGPT on your podcast right now?
Wait, yeah, sure.
Okay, we can.
I'm scared.
It's probably not going to work. Watch. Let's see.
I just thought you meant like the voice memo. I'm like, hey, this is what I actually want to talk about today. This is how I'm feeling.
No,
like, help me with this.
It talks to you. Hey, so right now I'm on the Damn Good Marketing podcast with Shelby Clement. Can you say hey? Let's see if I have internet.
Hey, Shelby, and everyone listening to the Damn Good podcast. It's awesome to be here with you all. I hope you're having a great time, and I'm happy to join in on the fun.
Thanks. We're actually talking about ChatGPT right now, so feel free to listen along.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm all ears, and if you have any questions or anything you want me to chime in on, I'm right here. Can't wait to hear what you all are chatting about.
Oh my gosh, shut up.
I know.
Lexi, that's kind of scary.
I know.
That's scary. We're not going to have a job in like 5 years.
Well, it's funny because I tell people, like, it's gotten so human. If you want to be a podcast guest, you want to go on podcasts, use it to practice being on a podcast. Tell it, be a podcast host. And your podcast is called this, and my name is this, and you're interviewing me about this. Ask me questions. So that you get used to talking about your brand and stuff like that. But that can work for people who are public speakers.
That could work for just content.
It could work for content. Exactly. Like, film yourself as if you're on a podcast, or as if you're in a meeting or something like that, and, go through that process with it. So these are the kinds of things that, like, yes, it's content, but it's also preparing you to succeed in your business in so many ways. So I think a lot of people don't necessarily see these sides of it. There's a lot of fear around it and a lot of suspicion around it, and rightfully so. But at the same time, look at all the ways that we can use it to empower ourselves in business and in life. That's the other thing. It's not just business.
Honestly, too, it's like if you don't learn it and you don't use it, like you're going to get left behind because everyone is using it. And if you want to be quicker and more effective and more efficient at what you do, then utilize the tools that you have right in front of you.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's going to replace our jobs because we still have the brains of marketing.
Right.
This is a computer. It can help us. It can elevate us.
Yeah.
If you don't have the budget to hire us, then use ChatGPT. And there's a way that you can do it. Get, obviously, Lexi's course and figure out how to do it. I didn't even know it had folders. What do you even mean?
Yeah, it's a whole thing where you can, like, set up folders with different, like, we have one for each of our clients, right? And within each of those projects in ChatGPT, we upload their brand guide, their pre-prompt, because all of our clients, we create a pre-prompt for them. And any brand assets that we have, we'll upload, for example, the transcript of discovery calls that we have with our clients, so we can easily reference them when we're putting together the scope for their strategy.
Oh my God, my mind is blown.
So even in that onboarding process, right? Like, it's like, think about it. Like, before, you would have, this hour-long call, right, or whatever, with your client to kind of get their insight on what they need and all of that. And then you're reading through the transcript, or you're going back through the call recording and you're putting together your scope and all that. No, you can have ChatGPT give you the highlights. You can ask it questions about that. You can upload an entire brand guide or a document. Like, if they give you a 100-page PDF about their brand, you can upload it in there. Now, there are security settings that you want to make sure you have in place before you do that. However, you can upload it in there and ask it questions about the brand anytime you want. And your team can do this too. And that's the thing. It's made us that much more efficient. Just by using these projects. So when you have these projects, everything that you upload into the project in terms of project instructions, the brand voice that it should speak in for that particular brand, all the information about the offers and things like that, all the information about what they do, it's going to reference that within any chat that you have within it.
Yes.
So it's super, super, super helpful.
Okay, why are you not owning the shit out of this space right now? I have not heard. I don't feel like I've heard enough people talk about it into this length, and it's only like, I don't even know how long we're into this podcast right now, but like, that you could be paid like a lot of money to go do workshops and speak on this and all that. I mean, I know we recently talked about this for you.
Yeah,
something coming up for you, but like, huh?
I have done summits and things like that. It's just I have not made the content for them. Don't get mad at me, Shelby.
I'm not going to get mad at you. We're going to outsource for you. Like, you're going to need the thing I wish I would have done, because like, we're business owners and like, we put ourselves last because we put our clients first, is this is why your podcast has taken, the back seat to certain things as well, because you're putting your clients first, and that's great. Okay, cool. But like, you are so ahead of this game with AI and like what it can do. And I've truly haven't heard, unless I'm living under a rock, which some days I am, haven't heard someone explain it to this caliber and like to understand and to make, like, you could literally go into agencies that do what we do and go like, pay me to come in and workshop with your team.
We do something called Team AI Academy.
Oh my God, you need to make content. If you don't make content starting next week, I'm gonna
college children have no shoes situation, which I know you're familiar with. We're always taking care of the clients, right? And then we don't, and my team gets so mad at me.
Okay, you need to find. We got to find you someone.
Yeah,
someone that's gonna like be like this. They're just your content. Like, I have an entire person for just my personal brand.
Yeah,
And so like we need that for you because I feel like this could like take you to the next level.
Yeah.
That could pitch you to be on podcasts. And like I'm literally sitting here like telling you what to do. You can take it with yourself.
Take it like I said, what would Shelby do? It's
like literally what I would do is you're going to go home tonight.
Yeah.
You're going to have a great drink and dinner with Carlos. Okay. That's what we're going to put first because y'all need it. Date night.
We do.
Then we're going to talk about how you're going to hire someone.
Yeah.
And it could be like anyone overseas. Like they're amazing people.
I have a team. My team is based in between Argentina.
Do they have the bandwidth to do your content?
Yeah, one of them is doing it now. The thing is that poor Veronica, she's been with me since the beginning, and she's like my right hand person, and she pretty much runs the show with the clients, everything like that. Because I have always just wanted to hoard the content because I love making it for myself so much, and so the poor thing, she will do all the content, and she does a fabulous job. And then I'm like, but I'm just gonna do a few little edits. Next thing I know, it's like a whole different caption because I love to write.
I understand, and you can.
I know, but it's not scalable.
Okay,
Edit.
this is what I'm going to tell you, and then we're going to get back to your questions, okay? This is what we're going to do, okay? She's going to create the content for you. You're going to put all of your stuff out. You probably already do this. You probably put all your content in like a bank for her to see and like whatever. You're going to get this podcast episode. She's going to chop it up.
Yeah.
Okay. She's going to write the copy for you. And like, you're going to tell her like in the comments, like what you would tweak. So then she can start to learn you, like ChatGPT would learn you basically. And she can start writing like you. I give it like 3 months and she's going to be writing really freaking close to you where you kind of have to let a little bit of it go, Lexi. So you can work on your business instead of in your business because you creating content is not making you money.
Right.
And like, you need to be on stages. You need to be hired on podcasts. You need to be like pitched to be like quite literally everywhere because like you just blew my mind. And like, I don't even know 20 minutes that we've been on this podcast. So I'm going to literally hold you accountable for this.
Sounds good. I'll check in with
Veronica, is that her name? Veronica. Get a backbone and tell her this is your content. I need XYZ from you.
I can picture her like, I've been trying.
Hey, then tell her to call me. Give her my phone number. I'll be like, Lexi.
I'm to DM you.
Veronica told me you're not listening to her. Okay. Let's maybe walk through a real example. This was a question that we got. A real example, like how you or a client used AI in a smart, strategic way that saved time but didn't lose the magic. So like maybe pick like a industry. Like let's talk to like a brick and mortar and like how would you do it for them where you didn't lose that magic and authenticity? Or if you want to start here instead, like what is your advice to even start the whatever you understand.
The authenticity.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Process with ChatGPT as you're building it out. So like you as if you're not using you as an agency and then you if you are using you as an agency.
Right. So, and either way, it's going to start the same way, whether someone's doing it themselves or we're starting it for them. Because to me, it always goes back to that pre-prompt. That to me is where we're really capturing the authentic voice. We're capturing the authentic information behind the business because basically what we're doing is in that the process. The technical term for it is iterative refinement. And that's a process, like a prompt.
Say it slower.
Iterative refinement.
Okay, thank you.
So it's a process of teaching ChatGPT by basically rinsing and repeating information. And having it restate it back to you and then finding the things that are wrong and correcting it, telling it why it's wrong and what's right and all that stuff. It sounds super complicated. And every time that I teach this, people are like, oh my God, I can't do this. It's like half an hour to an hour.
I feel like it's so easy.
It is, but I
not like
swear,
super easy, but like
when I explain the process, people are just like, this is going to take forever. I'm like, yeah, but what's an hour? You know, if then you have this tool that's going to save you at least 3 to 4 hours a week.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Invest that time. And that's, I think, it's interesting because that is the hurdle with so many businesses, right? So many small businesses and solopreneurs. Because this is such a fabulous tool for solopreneurs. And I do speak to a lot of solopreneurs. And that is the hurdle. It's like, oh, but this process seems so complicated. It seems hard. It seems like it's going to take a long time. What if I do it wrong? I'm like, you cannot do it wrong. Like, here's the process that you follow, right? Here's the information you need to get to. And all you need to do is talk to ChatGPT through.
Yeah.
There's this process of iterative refinement where we say, this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to give you some information and then I'm going to ask you a question and then I'm going to correct you and we're going to go from there. And then you start that. You give it the information about your brand and say, okay, now tell me everything you know about my brand. And it's going to give you this whole summary and there's probably going to be things wrong with it, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to say, oh, actually, that's not correct. It's actually like this. Can you restate that and incorporate the new information?
Yes.
And so then it's going to restate it. And then you move on to the next thing, which might be about your audience or your brand voice or something like that. And you're going to repeat that process where you ask it, okay, now tell me what you know about my brand now, and then you continue doing that process over and over again until you basically fill out all of the sections of the pre-prompt, or that at least you've covered all the sections of the pre-prompt within that chat, which is everything like audience pain points, words that you say, words that you don't say, examples of your captions, things that you like, or examples of captions that you like from somebody else, whatever it is, you go through this whole process. And then at the end you say, okay, here's the template.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to put all that information into this template in a way that I can use it in ChatGPT or another large language model that will allow you to get up to speed on my business in an authentic way right off the bat. And so it's going to do it. You're going to copy and paste that information over to your pre-prompt. And then the next time you go to create content, unless you have it saved in the project, in which case it's already there, but the next time you go to create content or brainstorm for your business, it has all the context about you and your business and everything that it needs to really get it. And of course, the more personal of a brand you are, the more personal information it needs to have, right? So you can have it interview you, and again, I want to encourage people, like, just talk to it, right? Like, just talk.
It's so
to
weird
it.
to say, but just talk to
It just truly, like,
name it if you need to.
Name if you need to. And if that creeps you out, don't. I mean, I haven't named it, I don't know, because it's always just been chat to me. So I don't know.
It's so wild to me. You said something that, like, people don't, and this is going to be me harsh coming back, not at you, just in general, because this is what I would clap back and say, like, oh, I don't have time to do that. Well, time is money.
Right.
So, like, you don't have time not to do it.
Right.
Like, literally, this is saving you so much time. So if you don't want to do it, then hire Lexi's team to do it. Like, period, the end. Like, you either buy the course and you do it yourself, or you hire Lexi's team and she does it for you. So, like, you got to figure out, like, what's going to work for your business for you to actually make money.
Right. And even if you are working with somebody, if you are working with an agency, and agencies will hate me for saying this, but
I'm an agency, I won't hate you.
But you're an agency, and I know that you, like, empowered people who, actually know what's going on, right? This is actually going to be an incredible tool for people to expose the agencies who are not doing the work that they say that they're doing, or who are not, they're feeding them vanity metrics.
Yes.
Right. Because let me tell you, like, some of the first clients that I took on before ChatGPT was a thing, if I had, like, $1 for every time they said, like, oh, my old agency said that we needed X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 so on and so forth, I could say it until I'm blue in the face, but they haven't built trust with me yet. Right? ChatGPT, like, put your marketing reports in there. Put your marketing reports in there and say, like, I am looking for this outcome in my business. My agency is telling me that agencies are going to hate me for this. My agency is telling me that we're winning and we're doing really, really, really well. Explain this to me because it doesn't make sense.
Oh, and ChatGPT is going to be like, they're lying.
Right. But it also, because I have tested this, because, there's certain parts of marketing that can be attributed to revenue, right? And there's certain parts that can't. Like, you have to still be able to sell in your business. You have to have a viable product and a viable business in order for marketing to do its thing, right? And ChatGPT will tell them that too. I have seen it, where I have a client saying, like, my old agency said this, and we were winning in social media, and we had all these great metrics and all these followers and things like that, but I haven't sold a single course or something like that. ChatGPT was, well, what are you doing between the time someone follows you and the time that they're signing up for your course or not signing up for your course? In this case, are you nurturing them? Were you investing in engagement? Were you in their DMs? Were you showing up on stories as you, right? Like, all the things that you say, it's going to tell them that too. So
I just think it's so wild. I love listening to other marketers. Okay, last question. And maybe not. I don't know. I might call it more. I want you to, like, just talk to them, because sometimes you know how it is. Like, someone has to hear it from someone else.
Yeah.
So how important is it to market your business on social media or just, like, in the digital space right now?
It's immensely, immensely important. I always find that a lot of people will push back saying, well, but I take out ads in magazines, which is great. I have a billboard up. Fine. The difference between social media and traditional advertising is that with traditional advertising, you might get a lot of eyeballs. Social media and digital marketing, you're getting the right eyeballs. So why would you spend that money, taking out a billboard or, something, unless you're like, an accident lawyer or whatever, bail bond.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for that, right? But why would you spend that money, which is usually incredibly more expensive than investing in actual digital marketing, when you can be paying to get in front of your exact audience?
Yes.
Your exact audience. There's no reason not to.
And ultimately, sometimes it's, like, just free. Just get off your lazy butt and just do it.
Yeah. And, like, you don't even have to pay us to do it. Like,
No. You can just start showing up.
So I can give you 20 free resources right now from lots of different people that I follow that are absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yesterday
I had a question. They were like, what's the difference between, like, a story and what do you put on your grid? And I was like, holy shit, this is such a great analogy.
Really good question, yeah.
And I was like, everything on your grid is like what you used to pay to be on TV or radio or a billboard. Like, it's there. It's your storefront. It's talking about you. The things that you used to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on to have something permanent.
Yeah.
This is your permanent.
That's the permanent.
Your stories is how you nurture. This is how you convert. This is how you get people to like you, know you, like you, trust you,
Yep.
and all these things. So like, if you are investing in a billboard, in a magazine, why are you not investing in the social media that you have? Or why don't you own it?
Right.
I just get so frustrated because
Like
people
you say,
cut
market
it
your
first.
business. It's free. Like it's free.
It's free.
It literally is free. You may not feel like you're doing it well, but you're doing something, and I guarantee you that something is more powerful than some of the ads that you might be taking out in magazines that no one's reading.
Yes.
You know.
And honestly, if you don't know where to start, you have 2 people sitting here that can help you.
Yes.
So literally call us, and there's literally no more excuse, right? Yep. Okay. I did this question on the last episode, actually the one before yours, and I actually really liked it. What is one thing that you would tell baby Lexi?
Oh my gosh. That oh my goodness. This is an intense question.
You can take your time. Like, we have all the time. Just think about it.
Like I know what I want to say, but I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. That you're different for a reason, and it's going to pay off. That the reason that thing that makes you feel so different from other people, and the way that you see things differently from other people, and the way that you try to approach problems, and your scrappiness and your resilience, even though it was born from something really, really hard, it's going to pay off, and it's for a reason, and it's your superpower. So
I love it. Well, I'm proud of baby Lexi for keep going and being here. So thank you so much for being on this episode. I am like truly mind blown. Like, I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to go back and tell our team? Like, hey, we're going to bring Lexi in. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being here, guys. If you love this episode, please go follow her on social media, Lexi Hartmann, and then iHeart.
Yep, I heard content. Yep.
And we'll put everything in the show notes. Go check out her course, like genius on freaking AI. So like effective, efficient. If not, and you don't know where the hell to start, call her. Also, if you're listening to this and you have a stage or I have one, but obviously next year. But if you're a podcast or a stage, you got to be on it. Like, what's her name again? Veronica. You've got to make you a pitch deck. We got to get that done. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to push you on this. But if you like this episode, please comment, like, share, leave us a review. And until next time, let's freaking get it.